Model Code of Conduct for Registered Valuers. As part of the Registered Valuers and Valuation Rules 2017, for all the valuation professionals, whether in the domain of plant and machinery, land and building, or financial securities and securities and financial assets, the rules have prescribed certain standards grouped under 8 different heads, and under those 8 different heads there are all put together 29 clauses. Now, as I mentioned earlier, ethics is really difficult to codify ethics. It is really difficult to codify what is value system. But certain guidelines can always be prescribed. And therefore, friends, this is part of the course curriculum. This is the minimum which is expected from all of us as far as practice of professional ethics and standards is concerned. It by no means not intended to be exhaustive scope of business ethics and standards. So this is the bare minimum, and that is what we must remember. So in this model code of conduct, all put together there are eight different headings, and under these 8 different headings there are 29 different clauses. So let us look at them one by one. So the first heading is integrity and fairness. And remember, friends, there will always be few questions coming in your exam from the model code of conduct and also from the entire valuation rules. So the first aspect of model code conduct is integrity and fairness. Just understand it. What it simply means that as a valuation professional, you and I have to ensure of very high degree of integrity and fairness. I am also going to discuss all the different clauses covered under these different 8 headings one by one. But in the beginning, let me just introduce and give you the background so that the understanding of each and every clause for every one of us will become rather easy. So one is integrity and fairness. Number 2 is professional competence and due care. So as the name suggests, you can understand, as a valuation professional, it is not that we pass the exam, get the membership of IBBI, get the membership of one RBO, start practicing as a valuation professional in land and building or in plant and machinery or in securities and financial assets, and that's it. No. Professional competence and due care would simply mean that even after passing the exam and becoming member of IBBI or of an RBO, we still need to continue to keep on updating our knowledge on a ongoing basis. And that is the reason, friends, as you would have, some of you would have noticed that all these RVOs are continuously organizing different training programs, and that is only to ensure that all the professionals, they update their knowledge from time to time. Number 3, the third heading is independence and disclosure of interest. Independence, you can understand very, very easily. Independence will simply mean that if I am accepting assignment of valuation with a client, there should not be any relationship, any conflict of interest between me and the client. And it's only when there is an independence, it is expected that the valuation that I would do is going to be fair one, and the valuation that I will do will be in line with the good governance. So independence and disclosure of interest, that means if at all, if I have any interest or conflict of interest with the client, I need to disclose well in advance, even before accepting the assignment, not only even before accepting the assignment, in case when if the assignment is accepted and I'm making the report, the evaluation report, I have a responsibility to ensure that this interest that I have is properly disclosed in my evaluation report. The fourth clause is of confidentiality, as it is understood. So obviously, when I'm accepting an assignment from a client, I will be privy to a lot of information about that client, a lot of details about that client. Some of them may be of proprietary in nature, and that's where the model code of conduct requires me to ensure that I maintain the confidentiality. Number five is information management. So obviously, uh, in the course of doing a valuation assignment, you will be gathering a lot of information, and even after you have completed the assignment, these information will need to be maintained, and the model code of conduct requires that you will need to maintain these informations for a period of 3 years. And remember, there can be a question also, as per the model code of conduct, for how many years the valuer is supposed to retain the records, maintain the records. And the answer is 3 years. So that is that the heading number five. Heading number six is gifts and hospitality. So obviously, in case if I am giving any gift to a client or to a government officer, or I'm accepting a gift from a client for whom I'm doing valuation, this undermines the objectivity of the assignment, because if I'm having any consideration other than the fees that I'm getting from the client, then there is a possibility that my approach or my stand in doing the evaluation may not be above the board. And that is what is the heading 6, which is on gifts and hospitality. Heading 7 is about remuneration and cost. So remuneration and cost, it basically talks about that as a valuation professional, you will be paid a remuneration for doing the assignment. And as a professional, you have to ensure that the fees that is charged is in line with the assignment that is being done. And you don't accept any fees other than what is agreed with between you and the client. And that is what is about the remuneration and costs. Heading number 8 is about occupation, employability, and restrictions. So it would mean that, as all of you are aware, and I'm sure must be aware in any case, that as a valuation professional, you cannot be in employment. So either you can practice as a valuation professional or you can be in employment. You cannot both simultaneously. So in case if you have you are practicing as a valuation professional, and if for some reason if you are taking an employment, then what is required on your part to suspend, to surrender your membership of RVO or your membership as a valuation professional and stop practicing as a valuation professional, then you can go in for the employment and not otherwise. So friends, these are the 8 different headings as far as the model code of conduct is concerned. Under these 8 headings, there are different clauses, and which I'm going to now cover with all of you one by one. Now, as earlier, so in case if there is a question, you can please ask me, else we will move forward. Okay. So if there are no questions,